It's show time at the Corporate Women in Leadership, and I'm already so happy you're here. So I've got my guests with me today, but I'm gonna pop them at the back and then I'll bring them right back just after we've watched our video. So let's see how this works.
We have is not what it seems. We are the vices waiting for the virtues. We're not kings, we are not kings. Gotta get out before my heart explodes. Gotta get out before my heart explodes.
Au bureau, il faut savoir mettre des limites. Dans les plaisanteries, dans le travail même, il faut avoir des barrières en fait, sécuriser son environnement, c'est tout ça, physique et émotionnel.
Tous ces diplômes, ils se promènent de partout et que vous devez faire la différence parmi toutes ces personnes, il faut que vous ayez une valeur ajoutée. C'est de cela qu'il s'agit.
Insisting that you must be a logistic officer, then you're missing your dream. You need to look at your CV. After this meeting, come to me, bring your CV, bring your mission statement to me, and let's talk about the branding.
Hello, people. Welcome to another edition of the Corporate Women in Leadership. I am so excited to be here today. I mean, every Thursday, I am so excited to be with you. My name is Adeline Sedekamga, and I'm the founder of Fabafree Media Group. I'm also the founder of the Corporate Women in Leadership. And the reason, I always like to tell a story why we created the Corporate Women in Leadership. We created this platform because we understand many people are having challenges, many people are having difficulties accessing the information or the support that they need. Sometimes we're already employed, other times we are not. But one thing is for sure, we all have a purpose. Another thing is for sure, we have a platform where we can connect you with thought leaders who can help you to achieve your dreams, to achieve your objective, and to realize your purpose. Today we're talking about personal branding, and I think it's going to be a very interesting conversation because sometimes we do not know the implications of how we speak, how we dress, what we do, the kind of image we have. We do not know the implication of this on one, our job, two, our relationship, and three, the public. So personal branding, sometimes we get asked, why are you talking about personal branding? Is it not supposed to be corporate branding or business branding? What are the differences between these two? As a person, do I need to brand myself? And even if I do brand myself, what are some of the things that constitute my personal branding? Now, that is one thing. The other thing is, I am looking for a job, right? Do I need to brand myself in order to have a job? Do I need to go give myself a logo or a new hairstyle or a new makeup? What do I need to do if I have to brand myself in order to have a job? Now we are working, isn't it? We are already settled in a job. We have a career that we love, but there is something missing. Progression. We want to go to the next level, and we ask ourselves, how do we go to the next level? Sometimes you work so hard and you ask yourself, but I work so hard and I just don't get any promotions. Is my director looking? Is my management looking? Are they going to give me a promotion? Am I going to progress in my career? So sometimes the effort we put in ourselves actually helps you to get to where you want to be. And that is why, ladies and gentlemen, today, back end, I have two fantastic women. I mean, I couldn't have asked for better speakers to handle this because all their professional lives, these are the things they've been talking about. These are the things they've been working on. They have track records of the people, the companies they've worked with, and I think they have an authority or they have the strong voice to actually let you know, let you see how personal branding can help you secure a good job and can help you climb the ladder. Let me introduce our first speaker. Our first speaker is, I just want to pop her bio so you see who Joyce is. Joyce, as a digital marketer strategist, Joyce has led online marketing program in web design, web development, search engine optimization, pay-per-click advertising, social media marketing, online, and everything that you have to do with digital marketing. Plus, she does a lot of online PR and face-to-face PR. Her clients are companies. But before that, Joyce has been a consultant for personal branding. So she will help you get to where you want to be. What she is doing now is she has helped leading brands such as Nokia, Rights, strategize and launch in Kenya, as well as grow their brand position, visibility, conversion, and locally. She has been in the marketing field for over 9 years and has been instrumental in helping companies achieve their marketing goals. She's a creative. I love creatives. Very analytical and a very good listener. So please, if you do have your questions, you need to make sure you ask Joyce. Joyce has carried out numerous training engagements that have helped individuals understand the importance of establishing strong personality brand online, offline, and on how to create this brand for themselves. Lessons on online PR, online personal brand management have been seeing many individuals transform and have seen them achieve their objectives. Isn't that fantastic? So Joyce is going to be checking in from Kenya, Nairobi to be precisely, I guess. Now, next on our list is, I just want to make sure I pop her name so that we know. Foluso Ajiolo, she's the executive partner with Michelle and Anthony Consulting Limited in Lagos. She's a Lagosian. I love calling them Lagosian. Foluso, as she is called, is a customer-focused sales and marketing personnel with strong interpersonal skills, drive for growth and leadership of team and individual in the pursuit of organizational goals and objectives. Has been into the pursuit of organizational growth and objective has been integral to her achievements. She has over 20 years of experience spanning in the FMCG industry in the area of sales operation, brand management, customer services. I think I love this part. Customer services, business development, and general management as both senior management level. She has worked with the US Seafood, USCN, P and APN, PP, Child Limited Bono. I mean, her bio is going to be popped on the, on her platform. She's also currently an executive partner with Michelle and Anthony Consulting Limited in Lagos. I'm so pleased to welcome these two dynamic ladies on my screen. So, while I pop them in, let me say again that my name is Adeline Sedekamga and I'm the CEO and founder of Fabafrique Media Group and the publisher of Fabafrique Magazine. I'm sure you've all heard about Fabafrique Magazine, have you? If not, it's a lifestyle magazine launched in the UK 10 years ago. It's both print and online. So I'm just going to pop a 30-second video of the magazine so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. There you go. Fabulous Africa, Fabafrique Magazine, website www.fabafriquemagazine.com. I'm not going to waste any of the time. Let me pop on screen my guest for today. I'm so excited. Hello, how are you? First come, first serve. You are live on Facebook and we're going to be talking about personal branding for job search and career progression. Thank you for joining us. How are you, Foluso?
Hi.
How is Nigeria today?
Oh, well, the weather is a bit cloudy now. I guess it's been aside that, everything is okay.
How is COVID-19?
COVID-19, according to the news yesterday, the cases are rising. About 790 people were detected yesterday. But I guess there may be cause for alarm and there may not be. Cause for alarm in the sense that most people they don't really understand what COVID-19 is all about. If it's new, because when you go out, you see some people, there is no social distancing, no face mask, and you know the other people aware of what is happening.
That's a typical African scenario.
But then, I think we are all responsible for our own, responsible for action that we take regarding the social distancing. The government has done a lot in terms of Nigeria, educating people what is expected. So it's left for us to take responsibility. I hope be more than once. A lot of people are speculating that there will be 5 months. It's like there's no. We shouldn't.
Let's hope not. Let's hope not. I wouldn't want that to happen.
I wouldn't want.
Yeah, I wouldn't want that to happen. Let me pop Joyce and see. I mean, she feels a bit lonely backstage, so I'm going to pop her. Hello, Joyce. I think her mic is up.
Yeah, I think I'm unmuted now. I'm fine, thanks.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
All right. So how is you in Nairobi?
Yes, Nairobi is cold mostly during the day. It gets warmer in the evening and then gets cold at night. But all in all, it's good. The weather is fine. It's welcome. It was very hot earlier on, so it's fine.
Okay. So how is the COVID-19? How are people responding to it?
Mixed feelings. Some people are not taking it as seriously as others are. So in terms of caution and observing social distancing, people are tired of sitting at home and waiting. People are very eager to go back to work. So we understand both sides of the spectrum.
Yeah.
We're trying to just deal with it as it comes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, I think there's hope, and we all need to keep hoping that things will come back to normal. So today we're talking about personal branding, and from your bio, you girls have great experience, and we have 18 people watching us already, and trust me, a lot more are gonna watch. You know, ideally we have almost 2,000 people each time we create a conversation online, and I am happy that this is going to stay on the wall. So if anyone is here watching us today, please do make sure you share this to your network, share this to your Facebook pages. We need more and more people to join us, because we'll be speaking with Joyce Bothoni from, she's the CEO of Viral Gorilla Agency. It's a communication and marketing agency, right, Joyce?
Yes.
And we have Foluso Ajola, who's checking in from Nigeria, Lagos, executive partner with Michelle and Anthony Consulting Limited, Lagos. And it's going to be a fantastic conversation about personal branding. Before we start asking the question, I just want to say thank you. Hey, I want to say thank you to some of the guests. Nuella is in. Hello, amazing ladies. I'm very, very excited to be joined. Looking forward to learning much from this platform. Thank you so much, Nuella. She's a regular, always here. I'm sure by the time you leave this, by the time we stop our life, you're going to be writing a book. That is what I expect from you. That book. Clara is checking in all the way from Ghana. Clara, Mama Ngano, I call her. She's my friend from Ghana, checking in, and thank you so much for joining. I know how this could be. Anthony Obaje, I'm definitely sure you're checking in from Nigeria. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you. So great to to host you. Serious echo. There's an echo. Is there still echo?
There's an echo, yeah.
Is there? Okay. I think what we'll be doing is when someone is speaking, I'm going to be muting the rest of the mic. This one is just an introduction. So there's also Ade Yanu. Good to be here. Kudus, thank you so much. And Titi Lota. Good to be part of this. Can we do something about the echo? Yes, we're going to work on the echo. Let me try and see if I can work on the echo for now. Okay, I think that is a little bit better. And we say Kremlin, and yes, as a woman, what was the main stereotype encountered during your job interview? Questions have already started coming. We're not even there yet, but yeah. And then Nuella, thank you for joining us. Okay, that's corporate women in leadership responding. So now that we know, I think we need to move straight up, and we're going to start with the first question, which is, okay, let's start with you, Joyce. Personal branding. What is personal branding? How?
Am I unmuted? Okay, so I would define personal branding as the process that an individual would take to understand themselves first, and then take time to structure the things that they want other people to perceive them as, and begin to act on a strategy to clearly and consistently express that brand definition and perception that you want to create to the audiences that you deal with on a day-to-day basis. I would simply put it as that, without getting too complicated. I can't.
You can't hear.
We can't hear you. You're muted.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
I don't like this muting thing. I'm going to leave my mic open all the time. Okay, I'm just going to be so okay.
Yes.
I was just asking for so if this is if this is if you have something to add to this, is this the right definition? Is there something you want to hit on and add to what Joyce just said about personal branding?
Yeah, I think that is spot on. But I will say that again, personal branding, it's not a new concept. it's what it has been on before now. Is what every one of us get to do. We get to do it either consciously or unconsciously. Every facet of your life, you are branding yourself. You can be branding it positively or negatively. And I, as a sales and marketing person, I see personal branding as an arm of sales, an arm of marketing, because all you are doing is marketing yourself in terms of how you look, the appearance, how you speak, and how you act. All about your character, putting a label on yourself. That's all about personal branding. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We've just trashed that, and based on what both speakers have said, I feel there is a connection to what they've said. It's all about you. It's all about how you want people to look at you, how you speak, how you smile, how you market yourself, with an objective, with a purpose, as Joyce said. So let's ask, what are some of the differences between the corporate and personal branding? Joyce, is this something you want to give a go at?
That in United States international universities where I did my undergraduate in marketing. And then just before I graduated, I started my business in personal branding training and etiquette. So I would go to corporates and I would talk to them about how they need to attend to their staff in terms of building their soft skills. Because the front-facing people are the ones who deal with your customers on a day-to-day basis. And so how do you want these people to exemplify and express the brand of the organization when they're dealing with the customers that you serve? So when I look at the similarities or differences between corporate branding and personal branding, it's more or less the same thing. Because when you're defining a corporate brand identity, you look at the brand voice, you have the brand tone that you're defining, you have the brand messaging that you have to come up with, you have things like the brand perception that you have to create, and there's the brand attributes that you have to define. That is on the corporate side. So the voice, for example, of a brand would be, how do you want people to hear you when you speak? When you're expressing your brand, you want to sound like you are intelligent. You want to sound like you're authoritative. You could either want to sound like you're funny or playful as a brand. As an individual, you can apply the same concept. So you should also be able to define those specific attributes as you would for a brand out there, the same way you would want to define them for an individual. If you're talking about tone, what is the emotional implication that you want to be felt when you're dealing with people? I know this might sound a bit technical, and if you don't have a marketing background, it might be technical to perceive. But if you think about it simply, I, as an individual, meet someone, I want to engage with them. I want them to perceive me a certain way. That is the brand personality that you're creating. If you're talking about the brand messaging, you have different channels that you use as an individual, the same way a corporate brand would use different channels to communicate their messaging. So you have your social media platforms, for example. You have your WhatsApp messages, for example. When you're texting people, simple example, if you're texting someone, do you write out the words in full, or do you have your message going down on text as, your text is TXT, your message is MSG. So you have short form when you're writing. That can easily be translated into how you communicate on email. So in terms of messaging, how is it that you communicate to your audiences or whoever it is you're engaging with? It's the same way a brand is conscious about how they disseminate the messages that they are putting out to their audiences and how they craft those messages and want people to develop a perception about them. What attributes do you want people to perceive about you? Are you a person who is keen on excellence? Are you a person who delivers on time? Are you a person who is trustworthy? Are you a person who is forward thinking? A brand can easily define themselves as that, and you as an individual should also be as those. And at the very end of developing your brand identity or your personality or your personal brand, you should be able to communicate something that creates a perception about you. So at the very beginning, when you started out, you want people to see that you are smart, you are confident, you are forward thinking, you are all these wonderful things. But when it comes to how you talk on phone, when it comes to how you text people, when it comes to what messages you're putting on social media, your social media platforms, when it comes to how you are, how you stand, how you sit in front of people, are those things being communicated the same way as how you've perceived them in your mind? So it's very important to define that. The similarities are there, and an individual brand or a personal brand. We just have to draw the line in terms of how each of them are crafted when you're putting those points down for yourself, and then how you carry that out going forward in your day-to-day engagements. So I would say there are similarities. It's just the difference is how you put that together and express it on your channels vis-a-vis how a brand would express them on their channels.
Thank you very much, Joyce. I think that was a very explicit. I like the way you've mixed both the academic definition and the actual day-to-day definition. So I love the way you've kind of put it as in a big term, and how we as individuals can really connect with these and make this work for us. Now, Foluso, I'm just wondering if after the lengthy explanation, there's something that she missed that you want to add.
I wanted to say right, said everything that needed to be said, but okay. I was just thinking that for this similarity, the difference between the two, the personal branding and the corporate branding, it's that one is flexible, more flexible than the other. And personal branding is more flexible because in the sense that you are the owner of the brand, you are the one that wants to be recognized for something, to be known for something. You are the one that have recognized what you stand to gain, who you are, how you want to be identified, the impression you want to leave in the minds of people. And so when change is the only constant thing, when it's time to have a tweak to change some things about you, maybe from the feedback that you get from people, it's easier done because you are the one that is in total control of it. Unlike corporate branding, which is about the organization, before you can tweak anything or change anything, there must be a consensus. Even when you believe that things have to be changed, like when your brand has been perceived as a premium brand, or the perception is that it's a very expensive brand, now to sell the value to them, and at times you see yourself actually your volume being eroded away because of this singular perception. And when you are trying to do something, the management may feel that, look, this is a premium brand, that's what you want. So you don't have control over what you should do at times on such a brand. So flexibility, in terms of flexibility for personal branding is okay. And then for corporate branding, it has a wider reach. You can actually project the brand beyond a particular locality. It can be global, but for personal, it can be restricted to where you are exposed to or where you get to, even though for now, we are talking about the world being a global village, but you still can't compare the reach of a personal brand, except you have developed it over times, like those of the Oprah Winfrey of this world, the Mother Teresa of this world, that have built their personal brand based on what they have been known for. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I think now we can see. I love the addition of the flexibility. I didn't think flexibility. Joyce, you can see I was laughing back end because my company, the day I wanted to rebrand, it was a whole lot of you need to do this, you need to do that, and it was so difficult because you need to put a lot of thought behind it, and you need to really answer some of those questions, which we because it's not just about you anymore, is it? It's about what people think of you, how people look at you, who know you, and things like that. So yeah, quite right on the flexible approach. Let's see if we have some comments which we want to deal with.
I'd like to add on to
yes, please go on.
What Fuluso has said. You're very right on the flex. One of the key tenets that personal branding stands on is when you go to Rome, do as the Romans do. So you have to be malleable and flexible enough to adapt to certain cultures, scenarios, organizations, So essentially, once you have defined who you are and what you want to be, carry that and be very rigid and stiff when you're going around interacting with people. So it's a delicate balance between what you want them to perceive and also what you can accomplish as far as they are concerned.
Thank you. Great addition. Great addition. I have some slides here. I hope I've not missed any important one. Joyce, is there any slide that I just noticed that the slides were already available for me. Is there any one that I've missed, or I think you've covered it because but just let me know if there's any particular slide you want me to pop on the screen when you're responding to any of the questions, and then I'll do it. Right?
Okay.
Let's try question 3 and see. Many people struggle to get a job. So does creating a personal brand facilitate job search and employment opportunity? Let's start with Fuluso. Let's see what you have to say about this.
Yes. We are talking about personal branding and how you look, how you speak, how you act. And then when you are talking about searching for a job, some people will definitely struggle because it goes beyond your presence, your physical presence before you get the job. It starts from your resume. How have you drafted it? I would say this generation are fortunate, unlike our own generation back then, while we finished from school. There's no one to help you put up your CV and you pay for it. But these days, you see so many copies on the internet and people copy doctor's CV anyhow. But even if you find somebody to do that for you, the onus is on you to actually go through it, see what is there, if it is a true representation of who you are, because getting a job is beyond CV, what you have put on your CV. It may be part of it. And again, in searching for job, I see that people don't, at times, they search for job not because they are passionate about that particular industry, about the job they want to do. And so at the end of the day, when they mix things, when they don't have the prerequisites to get that job, they keep struggling, they will not get it. And I will say that in searching for job, I believe that there are 4 elements that is very key if you know that you are job hunting. And the elements are: 1, the skills that you have, your character is 1, your potential is 1. And so and your experience is another 1. So if you look at all those 4 together, you want to search for it. What skill do you have? What do you want to put to the table? What value do you want to go and add at that point that you want to, at the place that you want to, you are looking for the job? Then if you know that you need to develop your skill, the skill that you have, you need to develop it more. And then for that particular organization that you are seeking to apply to, what are they asking for? Is it the skills that you have that they require that you have or not? And then the experience. Do you have the requisite experience to work in that organization? So you must first identify your goal, your career goal. That's what you want to do. I find it funny at times when you see some people, they will tell you that they are looking for a job. And then they come in as a sales or marketing person. You said I've once had someone that said he came for an interview at the end of the day. And when he came for the interview, we were talking, what are your weaknesses? He said he's a very shy person. And I said, okay, if you're a shy person, what have you done? Do you like mingling with people? Then he said, no, I'm an introvert. And at that point, you are seeking an employment as a sales representative. And you said you're an introvert, you are a shy person. From that stage, you are failed. And what is it that is the mistake that he has done? He has failed to research very well. What are the requirements of a salesperson? What are the skills? What are the qualities that are required? So in a nutshell, I would say that if you are searching for a job, you must identify those 4 elements. And then with your look, with how you comport yourselves, I believe that the sky will be your limit, or you definitely get the job that you're actually looking for if you have done your homework, your research very well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Fusula. Thank you so much for the detail, the steps. I think the approach that you've used is actually a step-by-step approach, which is great, because sometimes we want to do things and we spend our entire time doing things from the middle to the top or from the middle to the bottom. You can only succeed with things like that if you are master of the game. So Joyce, please, I would like you to tell us, let me just pop the question again so people who are joining us now will see what questions we are asking. Many people struggle to get a job, better still a job that they want. Does creating a personal brand facilitate job search and employment opportunity?
Yes, it does actually. I think I agree with a lot of what Felicio has said. Very, very correct points. It's important to understand where you're going and to know what your goals are and to prepare yourself for the position that you're looking for. The CV is a critical point of the job search process. In addition to that, I will touch on the personal packaging when you're preparing to go for an interview. And personal packaging of yourself and of yourself online.
Have we got a slide for that?
So what I have, I think the slide is Felicio. It's for Felicio, not mine.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll just talk through this. I could give examples of what I have experienced in my own organization and people have come in for interviews. Yeah. So I know there's people who come and I felt they were not dressed appropriately for the interview. I felt they were not prepared in terms of understanding the role that they were actually coming to interview for and what we expected as an organization. You have all the information you need out there about the organization that you'll be interviewing for. You have a website to go to. You have information as pertains to the position that you'll be interviewing for. So information is available. The question is, are you using that information to prepare yourself? Are you understanding what the corporate culture is so that when you show up, they see that you are exemplifying something close to what they stand for? Now, because I run a digital marketing agency, we tend to be more smart casual than formal. When I was running the training business, which we have now merged in a way, both digitally and now running the trainings, but when it was purely live training, it was completely formal. So anyone who showed up to my office without looking like they were ready to go in front of a stage to talk to people, I would dismiss. It literally takes someone 7 to 10 seconds to create an impression about you. So within those 7 to 10 seconds, what is it that you're communicating by the way you walk into a room, for example? Are you slouching? Are you looking down? Are you fidgeting with a pen? Are you looking around the room not knowing who to look at or where to go and sit? Or are you standing up straight? Are your shoulders back? Is your face looking forward? Are your eyes meeting the eyes of the people in the room? Do you go and immediately sit down as if it's your house? Or do you wait to be invited to take a seat? So there's different things that someone can apply and employ when they're going into a job interview in terms of their personal presentation, their soft skills, and basically what they communicate about themselves to the people that they're going in front of. It's important to learn about soft skills and what is necessary for an interview.
Thank you so much. Now we're getting into the heart of things. We're getting into some of the skills that you need. And based on both conversations, you can hear that your job is about you. It's about how you actually establish your CV. It's about how you've written your personal statement. These are all part of your personal branding because people actually warm up to what they see, be it on a piece of paper or how you speak on the phone. So how prepared are you? What are some of the soft skills that you have? And how have you managed to really hone on those skills and highlighting these skills in your, in your job search application form? So all these things are things that you need to consider when you're looking for a job. And yes, both speakers have responded to the question that yes, personal branding, positive personal branding, not just personal branding, but positive personal branding can actually facilitate you to have a job or to have a career progression. So we're moving on to the next question, which is more about, how. So this is a moment, right, where we talk about the how. So how do we do this? We're talking about personal branding. We're talking about, how do we build this? How do we cultivate this or build this? How do we become the ideal brand when we're looking for jobs? So Joyce, I think we continue with you since your year.
Okay. So I think to answer that question, I'll just say again, understand who you're going in front of and what it is that they expect of you, definitely. And then based on your personal attributes, how are you able to express those things when you go before these people? So just like Foluso said, prepare your CV, go with that in hand. I've met people who show up without their CV in hand, and they'll say, I sent it to you, you can just pull it up on email. And I'm like, okay, it's not my job to start pulling up email in the middle of an interview. So come prepared with your paperwork in hand. When you show up, dress according to what is required by the organization. So try and understand what their dress culture is and come looking like you're already part of the team. So if there are formal organizations, come dressed formally. For ladies, it's simple things like just wear clothing that fits you properly. What we see, and as ladies, I know we like to look at magazines, go to stores, and you look at mannequins and you think, wow, that would be good on me. But if you truly understand, for example, your body's shape and body type, you will know that outfits will suit your body. So wear clothes that fit you properly and that flatter your form, right? So one of the things you should do as a woman is understand the body type and dress it accordingly. The other thing I would say is work on your fit when you're showing up. Fun fact is when you wear lipstick, people have an easier time reading your lips and understanding what you say. Who knew that? So simple things add to how you communicate and enhance your communication. So it would be good to do some research on also how to wear your makeup properly. Don't do it too much because you're in a formal setting. You don't want to look like you're going to a night club when you're showing up for an interview. So being as natural and professional looking as possible is a good idea. Another thing is your body language. Walking with confidence, keep eye contact, shake hands. One thing I'd really like to talk about is the limp finger shake. You know how sometimes the people just deposit a hand into the other person's hand as if I'm here to shake your fingers and not your hand. Ladies need to develop, and gentlemen, develop a strong handshake which expresses the confidence that you have and is memorable actually. So many times I've had people telling me, wow, you have such a fun hand. And I meet them again and they're like, oh, the lady with the fun hand. So think about how you want people to perceive you and show those qualities that you're confident, that you're smart, that you're intelligent. When you're talking to them, be rush over the intents when you're talking so fast, you can think a lot in speech. So I would say those are some of the small things that someone can do in the preparing for their advancement.
Beg your pardon? Sorry, that's me, hay fever.
Bless you.
It's hay fever time, so so thank you so much. Thank you very much, Joyce. Thank you very much for that step by step. I love the handshake part. We all should cultivate firm handshake. Because the minute you shake my hand, that weak handshake, it shows lack of confidence. So let me pop the screen on Peluso and see if what she has to add to this conversation, to this question. So Peluso, we're talking about I'll just pop the question again. We're talking about how to cultivate, how to create your personal brand. What are some of the things that you need to do? What are some of the steps that you need to do? So we'll be listening. There you go.
Hello. When you mentioned handshake, I was like, in these days of COVID-19, what happened to the handshake? That's an Well,
that's a good point.
How to build your personal brand while jump onto. One, Joyce has really delved into the question, and I would say that one is that after identifying what skills you have, where you want to be positioned in your career, you need to make yourself visible. You need to make yourself visible. How do you make yourself visible? Apart from the contact of people that you meet, there's a particular media and so many media of professional social medias that you can belong to, register on. And one is the LinkedIn. There you highlight your achievements. You learn the industry language that attracts recruiters in terms of how you build your CV. And then the one thing I want to say again is that we talked about personal branding being the way you look, the way you speak, the way you act. Some people, I found that when you look through the LinkedIn profile of some people, you see them uploading pictures that are not professional enough. You see pictures of somebody wearing an attire for a party, a lousy attire and things like that. And I would say to myself, this is meant to be a professional medium. You want to be noticed, you want to be seen, and this is an impression that you have already created about yourself. So we need to look at the kind of things we actually post. And then when you comment on posts on this medium, you need to watch your language, you need to watch your reaction, because these are all the things that get you noticed. I've had courses for recruiters to actually call me for a job that I didn't know them. I don't know where they are. They got my CV. But after we would have spoken, they would tell me that it's from the LinkedIn. And I said, wow. So it says a lot more about you, and it projects you. So you must be visible. And then for your career, in your CV, you need to constantly update yourself in terms of the skills that you're going to put on the table. Because when you stop updating yourself, you discover that you start growing obsolete, and you don't want that to happen to you when you go for an interview. So it's all about the way you position yourself. It's all about being seen, being consistent in your language. It's not that today you are on this platform, this is who you are, and on another platform, you are another person, you are singing another message. In your message, you have to be consistent. That's the way I think you can do this. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now you get me thinking. I think you got me thinking because I recently updated a video on TikTok, and I was talking about a different social media. as a marketer or as someone in the communication sector, you need to find yourself relevant on all these platforms. So I was trying to analyze the different platforms, and I was looking at the things I do on TikTok, and I just told my follower, please make sure my network on LinkedIn, So what you mean, Foluso, is that the same language that I'm speaking here on Facebook, there on LinkedIn, there on Twitter, is the same language I should be speaking on TikTok. That is going to be one of the most difficult things for me to do. Sometimes you just want to have fun.
No, but it depends on the audience that you're talking to, and the audience that you're talking to, there are different ways that you can pass your message, and if you still stand responsible, if you still stand be if you still stand as that you're trustworthy, you're credible. There are different languages.
You want to bring your face in the middle a little bit so that we can look at your whole face. No, you're going the other way. So you come this way so you can be right in the middle. Or I can just pop you here. That way you're not going to be hiding again from us. That's better.
So it's actually best to the audience, and then you protect the audience. The children of audience, the Hausa language is a bit different from ours, and then you need to have a balance.
I like creating a balance. I think creating a balance is something that I love the fact that you've mentioned that creating a balance is something that we seek for, something that we thirst for all the time in our lives. It depends at what level you are at that time. So for the sake of this conversation we're having, for the sake of the topic that we're having, job searching and career development, I think we need to truly understand how we want to position ourselves online. Personally, I might want to be crazy on TikTok. I'm very shy on LinkedIn. I'm very aggressive on Twitter. I'm very playful on Facebook. At this point in my life, at the level that I am at the moment, I'm not sure. The only thing I'm looking for right now is clients. I'm looking for clients at the moment. So my clients on TikTok want me to do exactly the things that I'm doing on TikTok because they want to attract that network. Those on Facebook want me to do the same thing because they're looking at the Facebook, audience. So it's about audience as well in my case. So in your case, you out there who's looking for a job or who's looking for a career progression, first thing, as Fosulo said, understand your organizational structure, understand the structure, the company that you work in. Look at what they condone, what they don't, and make sure you behave accordingly so that you actually fit in the organizational culture. Another thing is, if you're looking for a job in a bank, for example, there's no need going all funky and all, because bank, they expect you to be conservative. Don't go carrying hair like my normal, not this one though, but like, you have to really represent so that when you go into an interview, they see you, they understand, she's not going to be running away with someone's money anytime soon. So, so this is this is all really explicit and very understandable. Let's pop the next question about personal branding and how it can help us. So we are at the level of the different, what are some of the roles of personal branding, the do's, the rules of personal branding, the do's and the don'ts. Now, I do know, and I want the audience to understand that before we come to this question, I think I want to pop on the screen to see who is saying what and who is asking what question before we go on that one. So if I can come right up to, oh my, we have a lot of comments. Let me try and put our volumes a bit off because people were complaining right up to at some point. So let's go to Nuela. Nuela says, so true, personal branding is flexible. There is bureaucracy hierarchy involved in corporate branding. That's very true. And Ade Yanu said, beautiful presentation, differentiating between corporate and personal branding. I love that I love that as well. And Noella says, it is also very important to research a company very well, just what I was saying. Human resource personnel don't just hire anyone. They want someone who is passionate about their organization. Very, very true. Definitely agree with you. Ambe was all about the echo. I hope it's now better. I'm sure it's better now because I can't hear it. And Vivian, I'm at work. Please, guys, keep on doing what you're doing. Really helping me with some of the points. Thank you so much. This is what I want to hear, love to hear. Anthony, hi, Anthony. COVID-19, career and personal branding. What are personal branding challenges in times of pandemic, and how can one leverage our personal brands in business and career. So it's one of you girls take down that one because you're going to be answering that before we delve on the next one. So it's about what are some of the challenges during this time of the pandemic, and how can we leverage our personal brands in business and career. And then Mimi was like, hello lady, hi Mimi, thank you for tuning in yet again. And then added, the point is most established corporate organizations normally check social handles of their intending applicants. That is, I check it all the time. I check it all the time, that is true. Thus, you need to be reasonable on social networks as your CV portrays or your personal branding display. Very true. Mimi says, appearance to reflect industry and company. Exactly, girl. That's what we're just talking about. You really need to reflect. Always remember you are the face of your company you work for. At all time. We can never, ever forget this. I work for Faberfric, and whatever I do, wherever I go, I need to take into consideration the fact that I am Faberfric and the face of Faberfric. Very, very true. So let's answer Anthony first. Let's see. Foluso, I think I've popped you on.
Okay.
So sorry, if you want to answer the challenges.
Well, for the challenges, I would say that a lot of people you hear them say that because of COVID-19, their career has stopped, their business has stopped, they are not doing things because they couldn't reach out. But I think for COVID-19, for you to actually overcome such a challenge, for you to remain relevant, and we have talked about online presence, for you to everyone needs to embrace technology. Because if you have not done that, it will be difficult to actually play on the online thing. So the fact that there is COVID does not mean that your life must stop. It's how you do things differently. And then, let me say, for example, we're talking about people not using masks, people not doing social distancing. When I meet you in during this period, the way you comport yourself, the way you do things who you are. If you are a law-abiding person, if you are responsible, I can easily reduce how you dress, how you behave. So there are so many challenges, but yet there are solutions to the challenges that you have. So I think the fact that there's COVID everywhere doesn't mean that you cannot still maintain your personal branding. Yes, they will say that what this person stands for at this point in time, and that's what you want to know. Thank you.
Joyce, I think is there something you want to add to the challenges?
Yeah, I mean, COVID has changed a lot of things for so many people. We've seen a lot of people have lost jobs, which is very unfortunate. But we have also seen that more people have reinvented themselves. More people are now looking for other ways that they can generate income. So I have seen through this experience that people are very industrious and are very, they've risen up to the challenges that they have faced. Now, when it comes to how you express yourself and how you would be able to utilize the online platforms that are now being used more and more vis-a-vis the opportunities that we had previously to meet with people and engage with them face-to-face, we have certain etiquettes that have now come up. For example, when you're in a Zoom meeting, and we're having this conversation previously, I think with Adeline and Success and Ashu, and we're saying, even though you're going to a meeting in Zoom and you're seated at home, dress up and show up. So we had this conversation as well. Just assume that you're going to the office, and if you're a lady, prepare your hair, prepare your face, prepare your dressing the same way you would, and show up and talk and do whatever it is you're doing the same way you would as though you are going to a live meeting with people. The same things apply in terms of body language and, you know, how you express yourself. The way you speak still matters. How you send messages still matters. There's things like emails, you know, how you write out your emails still matter. The thing that has come out also during this time is that we've been given the opportunity to really utilize online platforms to push ourselves, push our brands, and push for more business. So again, note those things. When it comes to email writing, how are you composing those emails? When you're addressing your salutations, are you doing it the correct way? Are you leveraging on the social media platforms that you have? For example, LinkedIn, like Fuluso said, that allows you to meet other professionals and you can engage with these people, and you never know which opportunities can come out of those engagements. So even though we have seen the decrease in job opportunities per se in some industries, it has opened up other avenues, even for creativity and innovativeness. So don't stop thinking, don't stop strategizing, don't stop refining yourself as an individual. Increase your knowledge. You know, during this time, you had a lot of time to yourself. So take that time to increase your knowledge and express that in the way you engage with the people you continue to engage with on your online platforms, email, and whichever other channels that are available to you.
Thank you very much, Joyce. I want to add about how you can leverage, and I think it's very important to know how you can leverage. And first thing you need to know, Anthony, is that you need to understand the sector that you are running your business in, and you need to see how you need to be very flexible, and you need to be quick to change. You know, sometimes we feel we can do just one this for. There are so many things we can do with this. And I'll give you an example. If you are a personal brand, say you work in a communication company or in a finance company, and there is COVID-19. If you run a finance business, for example, there's COVID-19 and people are locked down, people are not making money, people are losing money. You need to be quick to think about what is it that people want at the moment. At the moment, people will definitely want help with their managing their finances at this time because money is not coming in. So this is an opportunity for you to leverage your skills as a financial analyst or a financial expert to create maybe a show like this or a WhatsApp group to advise people on how to manage their money during this tough time. And you might want to do this for free or you might want to do this paid, knowing that if you're doing it paid, you're making money. If you're doing it for free, you might gain a client. So I personally believe that the more you give on your expertise, the more of your expertise you give for free, the more money you make for your company. I mean, I've seen it work. It works for me 100%, and I think it's going to work for anybody else who knows exactly how to do it. Because even though you're giving it, there are certain ways of giving that you don't give it all. You give it in a way that people are going to be thirsty for more. People are going to come back for more. And that is how you leverage in a moment like this. Take, for example, I am in the communication sector, and during COVID-19, I've been able to come up with a lot of innovative ideas. I've made new clients, you know, I've leveraged the fact that I know how to communicate on crisis. So I've leveraged a skill set that I have to create more opportunities for my company, for my clients, and for my employees. So it's all about understanding your expertise, using your company as a brand, and pushing your brand forward during a time when you feel people actually are looking for either financial analysts, communication experts, corporate social responsibility practitioners, and then you push it. That is how you actually leverage in a moment like this. I mean, that is what I think. It's just an addition to what the girls have said. So let's ask the next question that we had was from. Was this the question? No. Sorry, I'm just going to pop that question here. I think it was a comment rather than a question. Yeah. So with that, okay. So we have this comment. The point is we've already talked about that. And Mimi says COVID-19 challenges impact mostly folks who can't work remotely. That is true. If your company cannot work remotely, or if you can't work remotely, then you're going to be truly challenged. Knowledge workers are actually in a great place with COVID-19, because they can work from home daily and saving on drive time. For non-knowledge worker, please take this time to brush up on your skills and learn new skills. Wonderful, very timely. And she continued, professional must use the time to learn, and learn. Ete says very insightful. So there you go. So now we're going on that question, which I said, thank you, Ete, thank you for joining us. Now we're going on. We're going to the next question, which is more about the do's and the don'ts. So who did we say we're going to start with? Okay, let's start with the mics are out. So let's start with any of you. So anybody want to pick on that? What are the do's and the don'ts?
Oh, wow. The don'ts of personal. One is do remain consistent in your language. Remain very consistent. Inconsistency is not allowed. That's one. Do make sure that you remain visible. Are you hearing me? No, I seem not to be hearing you. I hope you are hearing me.
No, just finding out there was a slide for this.
Okay, check.
Slide 8. Okay.
No.
I'm sorry.
Okay, don't worry.
Oh, I'm so sorry. All right, I think we're gonna scrap the slides, right?
Okay, no problem. So one is that you must be consistent. One is that you must be updating your skills. Learn new things. Do not stop growing. You may feel that, okay, is there anything like I've reached the peak of my career and then there's no point doing new things? No. Just like we were mentioning just now that we're talking about challenges and that some people cannot work remotely. I believe that if you think that you belong to the industry whereby you cannot work remotely, you can actually, like Adlan has said, that you can actually develop new skills. There are so many certification courses online. There are so many things that you can learn. You can even learn cooking. You can learn so many things. So don't remain static. That's one of the do's of personal branding. You must keep making yourself relevant. Every now and then, make sure you are being seen. Make sure you are not operating from the background, even when your job does not make you to be in the front liner. But make sure you are doing something that will project you, that people will see, and not for you to stay behind the stage all the time. I think that's very, very key in making in branding yourself and in making yourself to be known for something. Be known for something at this point in time that we are in. Have a memory about that. Oh, this person is good. To be about credibility, you must build your credibility and then build trust with people for personal branding. Know that when you make a promise, make sure you deliver on the promise. There's no point saying that because you want to brand yourself in a positive manner, you say things, you overpromise and deliver. And then again, you must flaunt yourself. Whatever, if you know you have something, let it be known to others. I watched one of the videos and Allah was saying that they say that for people who say that she's intelligent, and then maybe before you repeating it or you didn't go there to that, there's no point being with that. You must be proud of what a positive achievement. You must pride in it and get fulfillment and satisfaction. Getting proud about what you are known for is different from being arrogant in it. That's what you don't want to do. So for whatever you do, you know how to be professional about it. Make yourself to do the best, and then you can flaunt. So thank you.
Thank you, Foluso. Let's think about the do's and the don'ts. Let's think about what we don't have to say or what we don't have to do. Now let's look about how we don't have to work, how we have to work, how we have to present our CVs, how we don't have to present our CVs. I mean, I still believe and I truly think this is really relative to the industry, the sector, but there are some ground rules that we know we shouldn't cross. And I think Joyce might also have something to add to this.
Yeah. I really love what Foluso has shared. Those are very relevant points. I think I will just add two things. One don't is do not be rigid in how you are, how you present yourself. And even when you're interacting with people, remember that you're dealing with people and not everybody is the same. You have to allow yourself to understand where everybody else is coming from around you. Not everyone is wired or acts the same way that you are. So you need to be cognizant of the people who are around you, and you need to adapt to the situations and the circumstances and environments that you are going to get into. So whether that is an interview setting, whether that is a corporate meeting, whether it's a business pitch, whatever it is, you need to be able to be malleable and accepting of the people around you. One thing that you must do, whether you are looking for a job, whether you're advancing your career, whether you're in business, is to work on your networks. People will grow because of other people. You do not deal with doors or cars, you deal with people on a day-to-day basis. These people will impact your life in one way or the other. So when it comes to, for example, looking for a job, it is much easier for you as an individual to find a job through someone else who can refer you and give a credible reference about you than it is for you to go through a job search engine and apply for a job and then wait out for the call and then go in there and do the interview. And I'm not saying that we are looking for favors or a type of kickback situation. No, I believe that any time that you go in for an interview, you are now in front of the people who will determine whether you'll get it or not, and how that whatever results will come out of that are based on how you conduct yourself during the interview. But getting the access to the interview can be made very simple for you because of the networks that you have. So as a business person, I would say it is important to surround yourself with other people who are like-minded, who can help you meet the relevant people that you're looking for. Whether you're an individual also who is looking for a job, you have people around you. Your closest network is your family. Then you have your friends after that. And then you have other forums that you can join. As women in business, as women who are trying to expand ourselves and expand our careers, there's definitely places that we can go and meet other people who can help us in one way or the other. I personally am in one very good one called Business Network International, which is a global networking forum that I have benefited from immensely, personally and as even for my business. And I would recommend that to anyone. There are other forums out there that are specifically targeted to women in business. There's all this across Africa. You can find one and join one, and you might not actually have to be in it physically. There's some that you can probably join virtually and be able to benefit from other people who are like-minded and in the same field or have the same interests as you. So definitely do work on your networks, build your networks, engage with other people. Those people are the ones who continue to shape and form the kind of person that you are and who you eventually become. Surround yourself with the right kind of people, and that's how we keep growing.
Wow, thank you so much, Joyce. I think the networking part is networking is a topic I never stop talking about. I call myself the queen of networking. That's how I call myself. I'm proud to say so because I truly love and know how to network. And this goes to one of the comments which popped up as well. This is Mimi. I think I saw a comment which came up my desk. She said, let me just make sure okay. She said, certification, skillful, own your strength without being arrogant. Raise your hands when needs be. That is very true. And when I'm talking about networking, I'm talking about you have what it takes. You have the certificates, you are skilled, you are strong because you have the strength. So what's stopping you from raising your hands? What's stopping you from connecting to the right network? So it's all about where you want to put yourself at any given time. And truth be told, we might all say, oh no, that's not true. We can go through search engines or this and that, but that's all the time that's not right, because sometimes we do have jobs. I mean, most of the people who work for me or with me at the moment are people who've been recommended to me by someone. Most of the time. There's a high possibility that I'll take someone you recommend to me because you know them, you know me, and you're able to see that we're compatible and we can work together. That is brilliant. That is true. So I'll just continue with the comments. Leslie said also, the people you associate with have a great impact in building your personal brand. Very true. If you associate yourself with people who read, you're going to read. If you associate yourself with people who drink champagne, you're going to drink champagne. If you're associating yourself with, except you are master in the game. When you are master in the game, then you can associate yourself with Tom, Dick, and Harry. Because you know that at any given time, when you are with Tom, you're going to wear the Tom hat on. If you are with Dick, you're going to wear the Dick hat on. And if you're with Harry, you're going to wear the Harry hat on. Isn't it, Leslie? So, true, you have to associate yourself with these people. But it shouldn't stop you from creating the balance, as we were saying just before now. So when you are master of the game, then it is truly important for you to understand that you can juggle between, and you will be fine. But if you're still looking for where to belong, what brand you want to build, and it is good for you to identify where you want to go, see who you want to be like, who you want to look like, and decide to start copying them, be the way they shape their hair, the way they dress, the way they speak, the way they, so it is very true. You're very right. And Ram says, Estelle, yes, this is what I needed to hear about building network. Thanks, Joyce. And Ram says, I think that the process of personal branding involves finding your uniqueness. That is very true. That is what we said at the beginning, Ram says, if you were here.
You have to be
the reputation on the things you want to be known for. Exactly, that is what both speakers were saying right now. And then allowing yourself to be known for them. Very true. It took me 10 years, but I bet you right now, if you talk about, if you say Adeline, they're going to say Fabric. Because, because it takes time, that is true, but you first of all need to know your purpose. Mimi says, interesting observations was that most didn't know how to land the right job. True. Most people didn't know how to land the right job, or even if this job is for them. Some people just want to work. I just want to earn money. I have a degree. I want to earn money, and then next thing they're not happy at their job, which is another conversation we're going to be taking in the future. How to be happy at work. And then Nuella says, reasons why I am passionate about corporate women in leadership, surrounding myself with the kind of women who inspire me. I never leave this platform empty. Thanks, Adeline Sede, and all the amazing ladies dishing out free knowledge. That deserves a clap. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, she's always on this platform. Thank you so much about making it a date. Mimi said building network, but also do your homework. Good. You need to do your homework. Very, very true. Very true. So right now, let's look at the other question that we have. The other question that we have is more or less on, we're rounding up soon in about 10-15 minutes. We should be gone from here. Why is personal branding essential to career progression and success? Now, this is a topic I've been waiting for. I am excited. Who do we start with? Okay, sorry, you laughed, so I picked you.
Okay. Why personal branding is essential to career progression because one, the career market is very crowded, saturated, and you've got to do something. You've got to differentiate yourself, be a differentiator among the lots. So when you start your career, I don't know if it's like in Nigeria, one will start career from after you graduated from university. The multinational that I work with, they have this thing that they call management training, and then you be maybe about 18, 20 that you be engaged for that period. And out of all of you, at the end of the day, in every company, there's always one marketing manager, one sales manager, if I was sales director or marketing director. So out of the 18 of you, if at the end of the day, it's only one person that will occupy that seat because there's only one vacant seat in that company for that particular role. So depending on how you have been comporting yourself, depending on the skills that you are putting, the values that you have added to the company, and that's what will make you to be relevant. That's what will make you to be spotted. That's what will make you to earn that position. So I think it is very, very necessary for you as a person to continually, irrespective of if you are being rewarded, if you are being recognized, if you are being seen or not, it's very, very important for you to remain visible, to update your skills, to let yourself be known for something. And then you must learn to move actually with the, would I call them the movers and shakers, and where in the organization that you belong to or in the sector that you belong to, so that you do things this in terms of what, maybe blog, maybe things that you write, your write-offs, maybe your performances. You keep making yourself available, keep making yourself visible, differentiate yourself among the very others. And though at times we say that when you get to a level, it's all about, the competition may be very stiff, that even in picking someone for the post, you may have two of you that actually qualify for that particular position. Something will differentiate you. They will need something to differentiate you. And it may just be your attitude. It may just be about your character, the time, your respect for time and things like that. It may just be something apart from your in education that they will use in differentiating you. So for personal branding, I would say that always remain visible wherever you find yourself, wherever you are going to, in your field, in your association, remain visible, remain relevant. And then make sure you are adding value to the organization as well as you are adding value to yourself. You develop new skills, you update the skill that you have, and make sure, one thing again is for you to be very confident of yourself, anytime, any day, and stand for what you believe in. Even when there's so much pressure, make sure you don't compromise on integrity. Thank you. Hello?
Yes, I'm right here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for Luso. I think the different steps that you've put, you have to be visible. You have to be preferred. I love that you have to be preferred, because sometimes someone might ask you, why do you speak with this person all the time at work and you don't speak with me? Why do you assign this person to do a lot of work and you don't ask me? Why? And I mean, in order for you to progress in your career, I think it is absolutely important for you to follow all this. I'm just going to pop it up again. You need to be visible. Your employer should not forget that you're there. When you are there, they have to miss you. They have to, where is Adeline? Even if it means just the sunshine that you bring when you walk in the office, the smile or the bright hairstyle that you have, or the way you're on time in meetings. Relevance. What's a contribution? How do you contribute? Preferred. Why would they prefer you? Valuable. What are the skill set that you have? Confident. Can they send you somewhere without asking someone to walk behind you and see if you're doing the right thing? So it's all these things put together, and I mean, I couldn't have said it any better. So thank you. Joyce, is there something you want to add to that?
Oluso has said everything. I want to just agree with what he has said. Definitely, the two key things I want to, I think, to emphasize on what he has said is the fact that you create your competitive advantage because of your personal branding, and you also remain memorable because of your personal branding. Yeah. So I remember when I would do training I've done training across different organizations, NGOs. I've worked with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. We have trained ambassadors before they got posted, and and their in-house staff. And one story I love to tell is about two men who got into an organization around the same time, call it a bank, and both of them were very hardworking. But one gentleman was the life of the party. He would laugh with everybody. He would greet everyone in the morning. He was bubbly. He was cheering, and he really captured the attention of the other staff members. His bosses knew him. The senior bosses knew him. So it was always such a pleasant experience to be around him. And then there was the other gentleman, let's call him Fred, who was very serious. You know, he would come to work. He might say hello. He might not say hello. But he would go to his desk. He would work from 8 to 5. He would leave for his lunch break. He had 1 or 2 friends in the office, and he didn't mind. He was a complete introvert, whereas let's call the other guy Sam was a complete extrovert. In terms of work delivery, both of them worked very, very well. Both of them delivered on time. Both of them were excellent at their jobs. And then an opportunity came for a managerial position to be occupied, and both of them were asked to apply because they met certain criteria that were required for the managerial position. And I would always ask my audience, who do you think eventually got the job? If you have 2 people who are able to execute the same job with the same level of excellence, with the same level of integrity, and so on and so forth, what makes one person stand out against the other? And the obvious answer, I mean, some people who are more adapt to perceiving that the person who looks serious and is paying attention to work is the one who would get the position. But it was actually Sam, the bubbly, cheery one, who everyone knew and engaged with, because the senior managers perceived him as someone who would also be very easy to interact and engage with when it came to interpersonal communication. So there'd be less of friction between him and his subordinates than there would be between Frank and his subordinates. So Sam is the one who eventually got the job. So when you're going about your day-to-day affairs and you're thinking about how you're engaging with people and how is your personal brand going to advance your career, think about such things. When you're meeting people and you're doing your work, you're doing it excellently, that's all good. But as a person, what makes you stand out against the other people who are probably vying for the same job? So I would just add on to Volusa's points and give that story as a good example. Yeah.
Thank you. I think that story, I mean, I kind of was, where is the story going to lead us to? And I absolutely agree that the person who is seen is the person who will land that job. I mean, I'm just going to add a little bit to that story. It's about, I keep telling, when I'm training, I keep telling, my learners that you have to act with intent. What is it that you want? Do you want to move from point A to point B? In a company, it could be so competitive. And for you to move, you need the next manager to know exactly what you're doing. Sometimes we do all the hard work and then we pass it on to our immediate supervisor and we never take credit for it. But from time to time, I mean, you don't have to be aggressive. You don't have to just go out there and go straight to your director. But, you have to be involved in, there is always a network that you use. There's Yammer that most people use at work. There is Teams, Facebook. There is, there are a lot of platforms. There is Slack. There are so many platforms that you use. Make sure you drop some of these notes. Say, oh, did you see the presentation I did? I mean, you're not saying I did it, but you're saying I did it, because sometimes your credit just go all the way down. So whatever you do, your intention should be quite clear. You want that position, and as Fazula has said, as Joyce has said, you work slowly, surely you position yourself, brand yourself until you hit it. Now let's go to the next question, which is more on the importance, which I think it's the same question, it's important, kind of answer the same thing. So we are going to take a few questions, ask the last question, and then we can say bye. So let's see what Leslie is saying. The importance of personal branding. Your personal brand is a vivid indication of the best you have to offer. That is clear. That is true. Right? The performance, contributions, the value your next employer can expect from you. The brand you communicate marks your career reputation and is, in some respect, a promise. Personal branding makes this happen. Thank you, Leslie. I don't need to, to go deep in that, but you've said it so clearly, straight to the point, so simple. So we all know where you're coming from. That's some salutation to people recognizing themselves. That is good. Mimi, professional but relatable. Remember, great personality at times will open doors. Exactly. So Joyce, you see, this is straight to your, the story you've just shared. Personality, and Anthony said, well said on the personality. Mimi is like, personality, you can never go wrong. And she went again, personality is key. And then again, interpersonal skills. So she's honing on the things that you were saying, Joyce. Sam had great interpersonal skills. Perfect. The same thing that Anthony is saying, interpersonal relations come to play. So, I mean, I feel really glorious reading the comment and the approval or the recognition. This tells me that the people following this platform are professionals, they are experienced, they know exactly, and I'm so grateful for the contribution you're giving. And remember, we are here, we are open. If you are an expert in the field, you can reach out to us. We can work on a topic that you can discuss, because we want to use this platform to share what we have to give. So Noella is saying, I'm going home with a lot of things. Be visible, be relevant, be consistent, be preferred. I love that word, preferred. With all this knowledge, I must surely stand out. You need to stand out. Be the little pink girl in the little white, in the white. They're finding all my strength to do that. You can do that. You can truly do that. And Leslie again says, personal branding is essential to career through inputting trusts, builds connection, builds credibility, gains in confidence, and then having authenticity. I've never learned to pronounce that word, but yeah, authenticity. Personal brands also differs with individuals. Like example, myself, my personal brand that keep me flying is my God and my smile. I smile for the world. We could do with some of your smile. Let me get the mic open so we can hear some. I mean, we can do with your we can do with some of your smile. See how contagious it is.
Yeah.
We are all smiling. And Mimi is saying the importance of personal brands to career growth. Okay, Mimi is saying now we need to share all this knowledge with the youth. Good girl. I love her because she always share. When she comes here and exchange with us, she shares on her platform as well, which is very good. Team Mrs. Ajolo, that's a flag bearer.
Hello.
That's a flag bearer. Hello. That's a flag bearer. I can see. So maybe we wrap on this. If at all there is something we want to add on the importance of personal brand to career growth, and then we can close. Is there anything you want to add to the importance?
Well, the importance of personal branding, networking with people that are professionals in whatever field you have decided to play in is very, very key. And then when you network, build relationship. You don't just, I'm also guilty at times. There are so many conferences, seminars that I've gone for. You exchange business cards and things like that. And that's where it ended. But if you really want to build your network, you must make a conscious effort to actually build a relationship with whoever you see as a role model, or you aspire to be like, as maybe you admire his expertise or our expertise at work. So you must not end every seminar, every meeting with just exchanging the business card, and then afterwards, that's then until you meet again. So you must make use of it, and networking makes you to have friends in high places. And there's an adage in my country that says that if a child knows how to wash his or her hands, he will eat with the elders. You will eat with the kings. So whatever relationship, meeting that you have at every point in time, make sure you make use of it. Don't allow the opportunity to slip away. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I think you have a lot of cheerleaders here. So Team Ajolo, I can see that happening. Joyce, is there something you want to add about the importance of personal branding to career growth?
I think just adding on to what Fuluso had said about consistency is that consistency will build a reputation about you. And so going forward in your career, you have worked in one organization, you move to another, and you move to another. People begin to know you for something. And that reputation is what will keep you growing. So just to say that it's important to remain consistent. Once you define what it is that you want people to know you for, don't break away from that. So that whoever is talking about you in whichever circles that they meet, because you realize this world is so small and people talk and put the connections together, that whatever message goes out about you is the same. If someone knew you in one phase of your life, that they are able to say consistently that you are a person who is ABCD. So those things need to remain consistent, and that builds your reputation. So at the end of the day, it's about building reputation.
Thank you so much, Joyce. And truth, consistency and building and keeping. We say the network is your net worth. Isn't it? We say that all the time. Yes. And one thing I've learned, I keep telling people I don't carry business cards, and they look at me as if I'm crazy. And they're like, don't carry business card? That is the most important thing in business, business card. But I stopped carrying business cards about 6 years ago. Well, not up to, maybe about 4 years ago. And the reason I stopped carrying business cards is because I learned the trait of getting people to remember exactly who I am and getting people to want to contact me. And I've also mastered the fact that I want to manage and control who contacts me and who doesn't. And plus, I have, I'll just show a copy. Plus, I have this lifestyle magazine, which is my brand, Faberfreak magazine. And I tell people this is my business card. You know, I say this is my business card because if I'm going to any event which is important, I make sure I have a couple of them in my bag. So if I'm going somewhere and I know I'm going to see 100 persons, for example, I might carry 10. Because I want to make sure the 10 people I speak to are the 10 people I want to keep in my network. So I'll filter through. I mean, I'll speak to as many people as possible because you won't automatically know who is who. But you need to speak to people. You need to make sure you carry out the conversation with people beyond 5 minutes. Some people just go and say, oh, hello, my name is Adeline and here is my business card. I'm not ever going to remember you. I want to remember you for something, and that is part of your brand. And that is why it's so important for you to build your personal brand. Because building your personal brand, you know, it's all about these things put together. Being consistent, building a network, keeping a network, you know, being known for something. You see what I mean? So, yes. Wow. Is there a recap? Anybody has something, final words? Before we go to the final word, let me just say bye today. The last, build our women and girls start with us. Exactly. Building our women and girls start with us. Cheerleader. It's been a productive time spent here. Thanks, Toto, for inviting me. Thank you so much, Adeyanu, for joining us. We know 1.5 hours is quite long, and for you to have been all this while, we thank you. And Tolulupe says, thank you to the speakers. Indeed, personal branding must be a deliberate and conscious effort on our part. Very true. Very, very true. Extremely. Yes. Leslie, thanks to the entire team for the great knowledge and the contribution they are impacting. Thumb up, our great speakers. Thank you so much, Leslie. Thank you so much. I think you guys, all of you on the comment section have truly contributed great deal to this, and we are happy you were able to join us. And that's so correct. Okay, now have we got the key points we want to share before we say bye? So let's do key points. We normally take a minute each, right? Or less than a minute. So if there is any key thing, there's something you want to share out today, something you want us, job seekers, and those looking for career progression to take home, what will it be? Let me start with you. Let me start with...
Oh, well, since we are recapping, I will say Thank you to everyone that has been listening to us, that tuned in. I say thank you very much. It's been an exciting period. One thing I want to leave us with, we have talked about a lot of things, but one thing I want to leave us with is that we are seeing that personal branding is what we do every day. So I'll say that make sure you brand yourself well, positively, because if you fail to brand yourself, someone else will do it for you, and it doesn't cost money to do. You don't need a marketing company to do it for you. You are the campaign, you are your own campaign manager, you are your own advertising manager. So make sure you brand yourself appropriately, positively. Thank you.
Thank you from my end. I'm going to say thank you so much, and I'm going to pop Joyce. I think I'm just going to release her mic, and then I'll let her tell us take home message. What is it you want people to take home with them?
I also would like to thank everyone who attended this forum and took time to just hear what both I and Feliso had to say. I think I'll just leave with two quotes. One is for us to know that how you dress and act is how you will be addressed. And when you're thinking about what you want people to perceive you, know that how you prepare yourself, how you dress yourself is how you will be addressed going forward. Okay, so dress for where you're going to, prepare yourself for where you're going to, and not where you are right now or where you have come from before. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So now we are all going home with these words, these key words. I want to sincerely say thank you, girls. Thank you, Foluso. Thank you, Joyce. It has been a great honor for me to have hosted you girls. I think this is becoming I'm becoming more and more emotional because I know what it means, for you girls to take time, off your very busy schedule and prepare for this, because you're not just coming to speak. I mean, you have slides presentation that you've done, you have research that you've done, you've taken notes, and then you've gotten yourself ready, makeup, hair, nails. I mean, all these things, a lot of effort. All these things, a lot of effort. Plus, you've also communicated about this to your network. You've let them know you're speaking on this platform. So I feel sometimes we take things for granted, but I want you girls to know I don't take this for granted. I truly appreciate it, and I want to beg you to bear with me, or to permit me to add you to my network of corporate women in leadership, which is a platform whereby we mentor young and aspiring corporate leaders, and also a platform where we exchange with each other. So, with your permission, I'm going to tell the audience, anyone who will love any of these beautiful ladies to be their mentor, please do contact us. Send us an inbox message, and then we're going to reach out to them and we're going to have them to mentor you. We normally do 3 months to 6 months, but then again, we oblige once a month. You have to talk, email, WhatsApp. It depends on you, but we don't oblige more than once a month. You can do once a month if you want, but our framework, says or states that you have to at least connect with your mentee and your mentor once a month. So this is an opportunity for you to continue the good work that you're doing, to grow the younger ones coming up, and to be a part of alpha women who are walking the talk. So thank you again. I'm going to pop you backstage and I'll do my closing remark, which should be 1 minute max. So is that okay?
Yes. Okay.
Bye, girls. See you backstage.
Bye.
Wow. I feel so inspired. Sometimes I feel I know it all, or I know a lot. But after each of these sessions, I sit and I think about what I know and what I don't know. And I realize there are lots of things I still have to learn. And if I, who consider myself, someone in the trade, can consider myself in the learning phase or the learning phase, I think we all should. We all are learning. So platforms like these are really important. Today we've learned a lot about personal branding and how important this is when we're looking for a job or when we're looking at growing in a career. We've learned about how we can brand ourselves, the way we present ourselves. We've spoken about your CV, how we should be presented, and how the kind of job that you should be applying for. We've also talked about differentiating where you want to work and where you don't want to work for. We've also talked about the kind of attitude or personality that you need to put around, that you need to cultivate in a corporate environment, and what you need to do if you're looking at moving up the ladder. Career progression is something that we can never get tired of talking about, because at every time in our life we're looking for that next step, next step, next step. It must not only be career progression for money, it could be for something else. It could be for for just satisfaction or doing something differently, even if you're not having that money. But just doing something differently is always important. So I'm going to love you guys. Next week, we'll be talking about bullying and harassment. Bullying and harassment at work. Yes, we have to. It is important for us to address that. So it's 45, and I'm going to kiss you guys. And I'm going to leave you. I'll say next week. Tomorrow we have the French version. In case you know anyone who speaks French, please send them this link and ask them to connect. It's been the Corporate Women in Leadership, and we were talking about personal branding. And our speakers for today were Joyce Muthoni Muthinga and Ambimbola Ajolo Moses. And I've been the moderator for today, Adeline Sedek Kamga. I'm going to love you. I'm going to leave you. Oh, thank you everybody who joined. Ram said, some people are just making me to say that they are here. Thank you, Mimi. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Nuella. See you next week. Bye.